Right now on Denver7 News at 10, chaotic scenes in Denver. One man shot dead as dueling demonstrations clash in the city.
I think it's important to be able to show.
Police say a private security guard is now in custody. 9 News says that guard was a contractor hired to protect its staff at protests.
We know that can always get very tense and there's always potential for violence.
Officers are now trying to piece together how that guard got in the middle of demonstrations between protesters opposed to the Black Lives Matter movement and the left-leaning groups who stood against them. That's where we begin tonight with chilling images from a protest turned deadly. This moment, the shot was fired, caught on camera. You can see 2 men facing off this afternoon, one with a spray can, another with what appears to be a handgun. Denver Post photographer Helen Richardson captured this unbelievable photo immediately after the shooting. Welcome to Denver7 News at 10. I'm Jacqueline Allen. Thank you for joining us tonight. This evening, Denver police are taking stock after a day of unrest. Officers stood between 2 rival protest groups this afternoon. And as that protest began to wind down, one man was shot dead, and police took a private security guard into custody. Now, 9 News says that man was an outside contractor hired to protect its staff. Denver7's Lance Hernandez takes us through the day that ended in a man's death.
I think it's important to be able to show.
You hear a single gunshot in the middle of this interview. Then see police scrambling.
The guy that's on the ground right now basically shot the other man that's laying down over there, and he had a gun to his hand, and he put down, and then he didn't resist the police. He's being apprehended as we speak.
Bystanders couldn't believe it.
Shock. Obviously, when something like this happens, you're going to be shocked, but I'm wondering what possible explanation.
Police say there was a verbal altercation and a firearm was discharged. I asked if the altercation involved one of the 2 people involved using pepper spray first.
There was mace recovered at the scene, a canister of mace. We're still trying to determine, we're reviewing the evidence to determine if that's exactly what occurred.
The suspect is a private security guard hired by 9 News as a contractor tasked with protecting its staff at the protests. Police wanting to get answers as quickly as possible.
The rally was supposed to be about basically understanding what was happening with the police brutality within the United States of America, and now it resolved in this. This is not okay.
Police wanting to get answers as quickly as possible.
Our primary focus is to de-escalate the situation. We can't have any further violence in conjunction to what happened today. We just do not want that to happen.
Lance Hernandez, Denver7.
Crews in Colorado are battling huge wildfires right now, and they're bracing for a rough, windy day tomorrow as well. Families in Larimer County are out of their homes this weekend due to the Cameron Peak fire. This fire burned through more than 134,000 acres. It's only 44% contained. Meanwhile, the Mullen fire is also burning right now. It's on both sides of the Colorado-Wyoming border. It's affected an area of close to 175,000 acres. It's now 25% contained. This is a big reason why the wildfires are so intense. This map you see right here, the orange, red, and brown areas show more than 90% of our state right now is in severe drought. Let's take a live look at Denver this evening after this unseasonably warm day. Air quality is still rough because of those fires. Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson joins us now. Stacey, the big concern now, strong winds coming up in the forecast.
Absolutely. Our humidity levels tomorrow will be less than 15%. We'll have winds potentially up around 50 miles an hour into the afternoon, and that creates high fire danger along with the heat. We've had a lot of it the last few days, and our high today, 86 degrees, just a few degrees away from a record afternoon high. All across the eastern half of Colorado, we had temperatures in the 80s and 90s, mostly 70s up in the higher elevations. We do have an air quality alert in effect for Denver, high fire danger in every place shaded in pink, and that includes all of eastern Colorado. And then here for the Denver area, an air quality alert through tomorrow. So we've got a lot of things going on as a cold front approaches our state, and we are going to talk about how that will affect us going into next week in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Stacey. Take a look at this. Huge plumes of smoke this afternoon as the fire damaged buildings at the Mile High Flea Market. We got a lot of emails about this. It sparked around 4:30 at the outdoor shopping area out there on 88th Avenue near Interstate 76. 56 in Adams County. Crews say they got these flames under control by around 6:30 tonight. They say up to 10 buildings were damaged. Last night, we got to hear directly from the two men who want to represent Colorado in the U.S. Senate. Denver7 hosted the first televised debate between Republican Senator Cory Gardner and Democratic challenger John Hickenlooper. These guys sparred on a range of issues, but found some common ground. Asked whether the Senate should focus first on pandemic relief or on confirming a Supreme Court justice, this was the answer.
The primary response has to be to deal with COVID-19 and to make sure that we're dealing with the economy in a constructive way.
Look, we ought to be focused on COVID. That's why I am focused on COVID. That's why I'm leading with my colleagues, Republicans and Democrats, to pass a relief bill now.
Many of you were watching along in real time, commenting on social media about how those candidates answer the questions. Well, tonight we are going beyond the debate, taking a 360 look at the issues that sparked your interest. So let's look at Julie's response. She's worried about efforts to repeal the Affordable Care Act, saying neither Cory or the Republicans have any health plan to replace what they'll destroy. Meanwhile, Joel wants to put the focus on rural parts of the state. He says Hickenlooper only cares about the bigger cities. He's never done anything for rural Colorado. Mark had some strong words about the future of green energy in our state, saying oil and gas is going away, the future is green, and those workers will be retrained and paid more in renewable energy. Meanwhile, Beverly couldn't get past John Hickenlooper's ethics violations during his time as governor of Colorado. He paid more than $2,700 for violating the state's gift ban. Beverly writes, no debate needed. Hickenlooper is a thief and a liar. What else needs to be said? To watch that full debate all for yourself, head to thedenverchannel.com. All right, sick and tired of being on the hook for a big repair bill, a local woman contacted Denver7 to find out who's responsible after her tires were damaged by construction debris.